See, my first ride was to Leh Ladakh, as it is a dream ride for every biker. And I started riding after a gap of 10 years, and that was my first long ride. It was completely mesmerizing. I kind of went into trance and I forgot that I was riding a bike. So somehow I regained my senses, and the view was breathtaking, with those giant mountains with different shades and clear sky. So it felt as if, I should leave everything behind and stay there permanently. So that was kind of a mesmerizing ride for me, and unforgettable experience for me. I think that was a Spiti ride. Yeah, it was Spiti, Lahore Spiti. And one of my fellow rider with whom I was riding, she and her name was Nina. And unfortunately, she is no more with us, as she was called by God, and she was a cancer fighter. So me and Nina ji, we were traveling to Spiti, and first of all, we were the only two people who were riding together to Manali, and then from there, rest of the group joined us for the entire Spiti ride. And we were continuously chatting, on our intercoms about a lot of things, about, it was about teachings, the learnings, the understandings, the accidents, about overcoming fears, how to handle the bike, maneuvering the bikes, the techniques. So I was kind of continuously telling her, okay, now do this, do that, okay, beware, there's a blind turn ahead, there's a truck coming in, so, take a safe, maintain a safe distance and all that stuff. So that was a kind of memorable ride for me, because the kind of interactions we had during that ride, it taught us a lot, and there were a whole lot of things about which we interacted with each other, so that is something which I will cherish my lifelong, and especially since she was one of my dearest friends, and she is no more, unfortunately, in this world. But yeah, that is something which is more memorable to me. One of my friend always used to say this. I mean, one of the very first clubs which I had joined, you can buy a helmet outside in the market. You can buy the safety gears, the different parts of the bikes and everything. But you will not get your body parts outside in the market, right? So it is very important to safeguard ourselves. From safety standpoint, it is very important that you use helmets, because I have seen so many bad incidences happening in front of my eyes during my long rides, that wherever I have done, I've gone to. So I always spread this message. I always try to, spread this awareness. Safety is first, not only for yourself, but for others as well. And being a rider, you are you bear a responsibility. So just by purchasing a bike, you doesn't become a biker. You don't become a biker, right? You actually need to follow the protocols. You need to be strict enough to follow all the rules and regulations, all the protocols that you're supposed to, so that you and as well as your fellow riders are safe. So, and that is what we always spread while we ride in a group. So from safety standpoint, it is the most important factor when it comes to riding. It is important that you always wear a full-faced helmet on the long rides. You should have the riding jacket, the gloves. Many people, they don't wear gloves while riding, whereas it is very important, because in case if you have a fall, your hand is the first which gets impacted on the road, right? And safety boots, again at the fall, the boots are the one which keeps you safe from any major injury happening to your leg. Apart from that, riding pant is not necessary according to me, because I always prefer leg guards. So what I always, that is my own preference, but many people they prefer to wear riding pants. According to me, riding pants is fine. It is all terrain riding pant, but I find leg guards to be more effective in terms of safety. And so I think that is it. The boots are for boots and the helmets. These are something we should not compromise because there are many products you get in the market today, and just for the sake of money, that some of them are costly, some of them are cheap. Many people they go for a cheaper this thing, which does not actually give you a proper safety. So it is always better to invest in a proper gear. Otherwise, you'll have to invest even more than that on your body parts. And one thing I want to add here is, the intercom device that we use. Many people they take it as a part of accessory. Whereas to me, it is not just an accessory, it is a part of the safety as well, because it is not just for listening to music or taking the calls or whatever. So the intercom that we use between the riders while riding in a group, it is very much important from a riding aspect, because like the scenario that I narrated a few minutes back when I was riding with Neenaji, on my Spiti ride. It is so important that you can actually guide and tell others and inform and others of the challenges that are lying ahead, or if anything unusual that you see, any what do you call anything that you want to uprightly inform the other riders, you are able to do that, because somehow if you see that if we do not inform about that to other fellow riders, they may or may not be able to handle that in a proper way, the way they should. So it is very important for me that the intercom is of good quality and which is capable of connecting to multiple riders at the same time, so that you can broadcast any message to everyone at the same time, so that everyone is aware and very much alert, while they're riding. So according to me, that also is very much important from the safety standpoint. But unfortunately, many people they don't consider it as a safety point; they just take it as an accessory. We always say that by becoming a biker also comes a responsibility. So you need to be first of all you need to ride responsibly, so that it is safe for yourself as well as your fellow riders. And at the same time, you also need to be humble in your attitude, towards others. You cannot be doing any rash riding, right? So from safety standpoint, that is first and foremost thing. Apart from that, you also need to help society in whatever way possible you can, as a part of the group or as an individual rider. And never show off. Riding is not for showing off; it is for enjoying and freeing up your soul, right? Making memories. It should be memorable to you, but it should be memorable in the way that you can cherish it for life. It should not that is your last ride as such. So these are the tips that I always tell riders, because unless you are not humble, you are not down to earth, you will not be able to become a responsible rider. You will not be able to follow the protocols. You will not be able to follow the rules and regulations. And unless you are not doing any of these, that means you are not riding responsibly. I'm a free bird. I am riding on top of the world, and I am just meeting my inner self. That's all. It's a meditation for me. So that brings me back on doing biking every time, and mostly and I don't do weekend rides like typical bikers that they do. I'm more into long adventure tourer kind of a biking. So I want to get away from this daily hassle bustle and then kind of do a camping, get to know about yourself, get to know with your inner self, get to know about the nature. You feel more alive when you are out there in the nature all by yourself on bike. because see, life is short, you know. So it's like an ice cream. Eat it before it melts, right? So that is what I am doing. I live in present. I don't think about future. I don't think about past. I learn from the past, but I don't think about the future. I just live in present because tomorrow never know what happens. See, as I said, a rider. I will call a person a rider who rides responsibly, who is always ready to help others, who always is eager to help others in terms of teaching others in terms of the riding techniques, or helping them in terms of achieving their goals or achieving their dream in terms of riding, and be able to go and visit those places which they long for or they have been longing for, and who is mature enough to handle difficult situations with ease and composedness. So that is what I think is a mature rider, is a proper rider.